This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hey there, cat lovers. Welcome to 9 Lives with Dr. Cat. I'm your host, Dr. Catherine Prim, and I'm a small animal veterinarian and crazy cat lover, as you know. Today, I have a super interesting guest, Teresa Keiger, and she is with the Cat Fanciers Association, and she is going to talk with us about what breeds of cat are the most popular. So we will be right back to learn all about these cool and interesting cats right after this break.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There is no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms. And our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, TuneIn, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to 9 Lives with Dr. Cat on Pet Life Radio. As I mentioned, I have Teresa Keiger with me. Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Dr. Cat. How are you?
I am excellent. Meowvulous, if you will. So you are with the Cat Fanciers Association, and you are an all breeds judge, as well as, I understand, a graphic designer. Is that correct?
Yes, I am. I am contracted with the Cat Fanciers Association as their graphic designer. I also judge all 45 of the breeds that CFA recognizes all over the world.
That is really fascinating. So you said you were putting together a graphic about the most popular cat breed. So I thought we could sort of, take advantage of the information and the research that you did on this and talk about these 3. So you just said there are 45 breeds in total?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. And they are each kind of their own cat, so to speak, right?
That is correct. Every breed has something unique besides just color and coat that sets them apart from every other breed.
Well, we love them all. But I do want to jump right in because I want to talk about these individual breeds a little more specifically and maybe why you think they're so popular. So let's get started. What's number 1?
Number 1 is the Ragdoll, originally recognized for registration by CFA in 1998. Interestingly enough, not 1, not 2, but all 3 of our most registered breeds for 2023 are all long-hair cats. So I think that says a little something right there. Folks love the soft look of long-hair cats. The Ragdoll is a very unique breed. It is a large cat. It is pointed with various types of 3 different white spotting factor overlays on top of that. Now, with our pointed cats, we always get blue eyes, regardless of the breed or lack thereof. So Ragdolls are known for being large, having a long flowing coat, and these huge oval blue eyes. They're absolutely mesmerizing, and their soft coat, just you want to run your fingers through it all day long.
I agree. So for my listeners that aren't really familiar with the terminology that you're using, when you say the points, you mean that the ears are a different color, like maybe like a Siamese cat, like my listeners might.
Exactly like a
okay.
Siamese cat. That's usually the breed that I use to describe the pointed cat. So the color comes in on the extremities, the ears, the face, the feet, and the tail. So with the Ragdoll, we have the pointed colors, then the body shades up, but its chest can be in one pattern. It will be white. The chest and the underbelly and the legs will be white, and it'll have a white triangle coming up through the face and meeting at the top of the head. And another pattern, the mitted pattern, the chest is white and it has a white chin and then little gloves that's white at the end of the toes on all 4 feet. So they do come in a couple of different patterns, but the bicolor, what we call the pointed and bicolor, is the most popular and the one that people think of when they think of the ragdoll breed. They're very friendly, very owner-oriented, and they're known for their docile personality, hence the name ragdoll.
So, what would you describe their typical energy level being?
Moderate energy. They are somewhat active, but they're really kind of homebodies. They get along well with dogs and young children as well. I actually had some pictures of a ragdoll breeder and her son. He's grown up with ragdolls, and they're absolutely adorable.
So, what about you said, interestingly, that the popular breeds this year were all long coated. So, what about grooming for the ragdoll? Is there anything special?
What a pet owner would need to do is just comb through with a comb a couple of times a week to keep the mats away, under the arms and on the belly. And you can always shampoo and blow dry if you want to. There is an art to doing that, but cats can indeed be bathed. But for your average home pet owner, just a simple groom through should be enough unless, something happens.
So, do they have any specific health issues as a breed?
Not that I am aware of. They're a genuinely hardy cat.
What about their lifespan? How long would a typical ragdoll be expected to live?
Probably about 15 years. That is a little beyond my expertise, but from what I have seen, that's probably about average.
Okay, so you said that they get along well with children and other animals. What about other cats? Like, do all the cats in a home need to be ragdolls for them to get along, or is
I
it
don't think
something?
so, no. As I said, they're a very laid back cat. And, when we talk about bringing any breed or breedless cat, a lot of it also has to do with the individual cat's temperament. Pedigreed cats do have distinct personality traits that they are known for, but otherwise, I always say a proper introduction goes a long way to introducing a new cat into your household and integrating it to a successful relationship with your resident cat. But by and large, they would be a breed that would get along well with other cats.
So, if someone listening is interested in getting a ragdoll cat, how would they go about finding a reputable breeder or finding out more information about a ragdoll cat?
I always suggest, and this will go for all of the breeds that we talk about today. One, go to a cat show, go to a CFA cat show. There you will have a chance to see these breeds up close and in the fur, as I like to say, and actually meet the breeders. They may not have a pet available at the show, but that's a good way to introduce yourself and get connected with the breeder. CFA also has a Find a Breeder section on their own website. Thirdly, I would contact the breed council secretary. They know who is actively working with the breed, who is a reputable breeder, and they can often put you in touch with a breeder.
Well, that's great. So, what is the web address for CFA? Is it cfa.org?
It's cfa.org.
Excellent. That was a good guess. Okay. So, all right. So, you said there were top 2, top 3. What's number 2?
Number 2, another long hair, and our largest breed ever, the Maine Coon cat. It's really very, very popular with everyone. Actually, I just lost my Maine Coon of 15 years, and going through the judging program, I had to show a lot of cats to become familiar with them. And my husband said, he's the favorite breed that you had in that of all of them. And men really kind of like Maine Coon cats. They're big, they're fun, they're loving. And they have these little itty bitty tiny voices that you wouldn't expect from a 20-pound cat.
What kind of temperament overall would you expect from a Maine Coon?
They are one of the very few breeds that in their breed standard, it says must be amenable to being handled. And they are very laid back. Their nickname is the Gentle Giant. And a lot of this is because you don't want a cat that's that large to have personality issues. And by and large, they follow you around. They want to be with you. My guy was on the sofa beside me every night. And he would say, put your arm on my back. And then he'd throw his head back and give me the big I love you looks. They're just a great, great breed.
Yes, I like them too. I have a lot as patients. So, what about grooming specifically for the Maine Coon? Different from the Ragdoll?
Not that much different from your average pet owner. Again, a good combing with a steel comb a couple of times a week will go a long way. It's getting out the dead hair and getting out the mats. Because of their size, really for both of these, but for especially the Maine Coon, that type of grooming is very important in as far as keeping the cat fur at bay, as it were, and for helping them to look their best.
Okay, so you said that Maine Coons can be large. You said maybe 20 pounds or whatever. Do they require more space because of their size?
Well, that's kind of interesting. It's nice. But like a lot of cats, they also like small spaces. And it's a kind of a dichotomy because they really don't know how large they are. My guy, I would have a cat carrier, just a small cat carrier, maybe 18 inches long, etc., in the hall. And I kept it out there because he would like to take his 22-pound self, put himself in the carrier, curl up in there, and close the door. Honestly had no idea how large he was. But in regards to if they get the Gitchy Goomies and want to run for a little bit, it's good for them to have a bit of space, but it's not like you have to have a 3-story house for them. They pretty much make themselves at home wherever they want to be.
So you did not mention specifically for them about compatibility with other pets and children, but it sounds like you're implying that they are very amenable to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They absolutely are. Again, I have seen children grow up in the cat fancy with Maine Coons, and they know that these are little people. And as long as they're, as with all cats, the children treat them with respect and kindness, then there's generally no problem. I am always fascinated, though, at just how large they are. I mean, their bones are very, very large, almost as big as my arms. And that can, if you're lifting them or carrying them around, when they get to be a little older, that can be a challenge for some people. But by and large, they're pretty good about plopping themselves right up on the sofa with you.
Yes, I love them. Okay, so let's take a real quick break and come back. I want to talk about the number 3, and then you mentioned that you had some information to share about some rare cat breeds as well. So we'll be right back.
Molly, here's your dinner. Zeus, that's not your food.
Don't let that happen to your precious cat. Elevate your cat's eating experience with the Cat Tree Tray. The Cat Tree Tray keeps your cat's food off the floor and conveniently located on the cat tree. It's the perfect way to eat. It's a beautiful wrought iron tray that easily attaches to your cat tree and keeps dogs and other critters out of your cat's dish. A must for multi-pet households. There's a 6-inch tray for large bowls and a 4-inch tray for smaller bowls. Purchase your Cat Tree Tray today. Go right now to cattreetray.com. That's cattreetray.com. CATTREETRAY.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to 9 Lives with Dr. Cat on Pet Life Radio. Today, Teresa Keiger and I from Cat Fanciers Association are talking about popular breeds and all the characteristics and interesting things about them individually. And I want to jump right in. Okay, Teresa, what was the third most popular breed?
The third most popular breed is a breed that most people are familiar with or think they're familiar with, the Persian. With its round head and short body and flat face, the Persian is easily one of our most recognizable breeds. It's also one of the original breeds recognized by the Cat Fanciers Association and has been recognized since its inception in 1906. As I said, they have this round head, large round eyes, and sweet open expression. Not every long-haired cat is a Persian. A Persian has that distinctly short body and completely flat face. I always think that they look like little pansies.
And they are not as big as the Mancoon. What is their average weight range?
They should be a large cat, but they probably for most pet cats, their largest would be the males at 15 pounds, the females somewhat smaller. I also had a black female Persian coming through the judging program, and she was just an absolute joy.
So is there anything about their temperament? I mean, they're not called rag dolls, right? Is there anything that makes them different, their temperament?
They are very loving. What's kind of interesting is that this breed gets a lot of handling because of its long hair and that flat profile. The breeders are always wiping eyes and bathing them because, little kitties, when they're potty training, their rear ends can become a little less than fresh and they have to be bathed. So they're used to being handled a lot. And I think that makes them very, very amenable to being handled. I used to say with my girl, I like to bathe her and blow dry her and pluck her little face. And it was like playing with Barbie dolls, that bird.
They are very pretty and I don't know, almost feminine. So what would I know you said it's not really your area of expertise, but how long could an average pet owner expect a Persian to live? What would be the average lifespan?
I would say about 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 to 15 years, yeah.
And you kind of briefly touched on grooming, about wiping their face and that kind of thing. But as far as the coat care, sort of the same as the other large breed cats?
Right. And, the other thing is, too, any of these long hair breeds can have different textures of coat. I'm looking at the picture that I used for the Persian, and it has a very fine coat that's like cotton, so it can knot up early. Some other Persians in other colors can have a silkier coat that doesn't tangle up so much. But again, a good combing a couple times a week with a comb will go a long way to keeping the bats at bay. And Persians like being groomed. They like getting all that dead hair out. And I'll also take a cotton pad, cosmetic pad, and a little eye wash solution on the pad and wipe their eyes off frequently. Because they're brachycephalic, that flat face, they can be prone to tearing. So it's good to keep all the nose and the eye ducts free of any kind of debris.
So do you think that they would be considered compatible with other pets and children, fairly friendly?
I think so. I absolutely think so. And again, depending on how everyone's integrated, I know that I had my Persian with the crew of Russian Blues, and she fit right in. Hey, you want to guess what number 4 is? And this segues into number 3. There's a link.
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
The exotic. It's the short hair Persian.
Oh, yeah. Yay.
Exactly the same body, but if someone is intimidated by all that long hair, we have the exotic, which has a dense plush coat, very thick, but it's short. Exactly the same sweet face, the same compact body, just in short hair.
I love it. I love it. So would you say that if one of my listeners out there is like, oh, I would love to have a cat like that, would you not agree that creating a relationship with a breeder where you could find out the specific temperament and health of their cats, don't you think a breeder would be able to answer questions about that?
Absolutely. In fact, they would love The more questions you can ask a breeder about the cat, the more informed you become, and that gets your relationship with that breeder off on the right start. We love it when potential buyers ask us lots of questions. It shows that you're interested in the cat, you've done your research, and you're serious about finding the right breed and the right cat for you and your household.
I love communicating with the breeder, also making sure you have a veterinarian. I know that you, as a responsible cat owner, would agree. Okay, so you
Absolutely.
kind of mentioned and sort of dangled the carrot for me about some rare breeds. Can you talk about those?
Yes, and unfortunately, there are a couple of breeds that we simply don't see enough of anymore. Probably the rarest, in this case, the least number registered, is the Turkish van. Yes, it is originally from Turkey. It is a large, long-haired cat, and it did originate in the Lake Van region of Turkey. They're right in the Middle East. We have records of these cats going back a number of years, and they're considered a national treasure in Turkey. They're unique in that they're white cats, and the color is only on the head, the tail, and maybe one spot on the body. And there just simply are not that many breeders of this wonderful breed around anymore.
So this is a white, long-haired cat, but has spots in specific parts of their body. Is that what I'm
Correct.
understanding?
In fact, they gave their name to the pattern. We call it the van pattern. So yes, they can have color only on the head, the tails, and one body spot.
So I've never seen a Turkish van actually in my practice.
You probably haven't.
Yeah, so I never have. So what type are they friendly? Are they outgoing? What would you characterize them?
I would say they're friendly to their owners. They're a bit reserved. They're a large cat, again, with the long hair. I happen to like them an awful lot and used to see a lot of them. So I was, familiar with handling them. They're a little more sensitive to their surroundings than some of our other breeds. But, if you ever had the chance to see one, and I hope you do, I think you'll be fascinated by them.
Well, I'm already fascinated, so I want to see one. Do they seem to get along well with pets and people in a home?
People in the home, yes. I don't have any experience with them with other cats. And again, I would think they're a bit more reserved. And again, careful introductions of the right cat with the right Turkish fan.
Very, very helpful. Okay, so you have one other breed that I actually have never heard of. So I'm very excited for you to tell your other rare breed.
Imagine a short-haired cat that was large and robust with a rounded head and round eyes, and its coat felt like and looked like a soft Brillo pad. You would have the American wire hair. It's a spontaneous mutation. Mother Nature in one litter said, "Ooh, let's try something different with this one." And from that particular cat, we got the wire hair breed. They were outcrossed with the American short hair and look very similar, which is why I said the robust cat, rounded head, rounded ears, and the large eyes, big, robust body. The American wire hair also has higher cheekbones and slightly slanted eyes. But beyond that, they look very similar, and their temperaments are similar to the laid-back temperament of the American short hair. Their coat, though, is a fragile coat in that it breaks somewhat easily, but when I feel a good wire hair, it's all I can do to keep from running my fingers through it again and again and again.
Oh, it sounds beautiful. So how many of them, they're rare. So how many of them are out there, do you think?
Not that many. As I said, it's our second least registered breed. I think when we looked to do a feature, there's only 3 or 4 breeders in the U.S. right now. And it's unfortunate. They're a neat breed.
Yeah, that is unfortunate because now I really want to go pet one. They sound great. Okay, well, I thank you so much for introducing us to popular and common breeds and the ones that are not so common. I'm just very fascinated by that.
My pleasure, Dr. Cat. I hope that your listeners enjoy this and maybe go out and to their local cat show and see a couple of these up close and in the fur.
I really want them to. I kind of really want to. So, yeah, all of my listeners, go out to some cat shows and meet these interesting cats. And then tell me what you saw, because I haven't seen an American wirehair or a Turkish van, and I take care of a lot of cats. So thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Your listeners can find the CFA show schedule again at cfa.org.
Perfect. I've gotten so used to saying perfect, I say it all the time. Well, thanks to our amazing producer, Mark Winter. And here we go again, listeners. Go out and have a perfect day.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.